Well, I don't want to talk much today, but then what else can I say as we give Chelsea a standing ovation as they dominate Barcelona in the Champions League? Manchester City also lose out in the game. My name is Ramsey Enoch. It's good to have you join us on Talk Sport today. On Talk Sport, we will be bringing you a lot of happenings from the world of sport. But then we can't stop talking about the Champions League. The UEFA Champions League came with a lot of surprises. I couldn't, in fact, I don't know if it is only Chelsea fans that are in FCT because yesterday was something else. I was trying to find an answer to the question whether or not they slept yesterday. But then congratulations to Chelsea as they romp to a dominant 3-0 win at home to 10-man Barcelona in the Champions League yesterday. My guests will be joining me via Zoom as we talk about Chelsea game, talk about Barcelona game, talk about other games that were played from the UEFA Champions League. And don't forget that a lot of people have made other statements, and of course, what statements are they making? Like Guardiola said, well, I don't need to blame anyone. I take the blame. And that's what a coach is supposed to say. But are you on the same page with that statement? All right, let's get into the discussion. I'll get my guest on as soon as it is a time. Of course, let's also let you know that why Pep Guardiola has much changed Manchester City. We are down to their first defeat of the campaign against Bayer Leverkusen in a battle between the second place side in the Premier League and La Liga. Chelsea emerged emphatic winners thanks to the goal that came from 18-year-old Estevao. Well, I talked about him yesterday, and of course, he was very fantastic in that game. 18 years, my God, my God. Well, I don't know, but then I think he should be given something. What should he be given? A clap? That's all we can offer from here. But it was a very beautiful one for Estevao yesterday, who is just 18-year-old. And of course, it was a beautiful one. And Liam Delap, after a Jules Koundé own goal, had given the 2021 Champions League winner a first half lead. But then the visitors didn't just hold it back. They played just one half. They encounter a player down following Captain Ronald as Rogers dismissal for two, of course, bookable offenses. Yesterday, I talked about yellow card. Today, again, we're talking about a yellow card situation. But then why do we need to talk about that yellow card situation is because, well, it is something to be talked about. Who gets a yellow card in a game? When a captain gets a yellow card, a lot of questions come to mind. But then it was a captain that got this yellow card yesterday. But how did it really happen? I think the captain actually went down. Two bookable offenses. And what else do you expect on the stroke of the halftime and after stalling last time out? Chelsea being headed, they were held 2-2 by Karabakh, and Barcelona drawing 3 apiece with Club Brugge. Both sides came into the match at Stamford Bridge looking to get their campaigns back on track. But did that happen? Wow, my God. Well, I think they can't forget it easily yesterday, despite the celebration by the captain. It didn't really go well with him because something happened, and that's the fact that the captain was actually sent off of the pitch. But that was another one again because the win actually came. Like I told you yesterday, Everton were actually able to win their game despite the fact that they had one man down. But then for Chelsea, the same thing was repeated yesterday. Does it mean now that players should be given red cards so that at least they win their games? Well, I'm just thinking loud right here. I don't think that it's a good one, but that game yesterday was something that a lot of people kept talking about, and even myself, I was actually surprised that that game went the way it went. Of course, let me also intimate you that as it is right now, the Stamford Bridge was on fire. But then the Stamford Bridge is looking to get their campaigns back. That's Chelsea trying to get their campaign back. And this victory right now, as we speak, propel Chelsea to the 5th in the league. That's their position now, standing on 11 points. But then, as a matter of fact, it's a big win, especially because the other team was Barcelona. Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca said after 2 Enzo Fernandez strike were disallowed for offside, the host finally took the lead on 27 minutes. A short corner routine ended with Marco Cucurella firing the ball across the box. But then Pedro Neto's attempted flick forward towards the goal had, of course, the Barcelona defender tying themselves in knots before France international Koundé inadvertently knocked it into his own net. My God, oh my God. When a game is tough, you have someone putting the ball into his net. But the game took a turn in the 44th minute when Roger received a second yellow card for a poor challenge on Cucurella. Of course, much of the pre-match build-up centered on talks around the young starlet on both sides. But it was Chelsea Estavo who actually stole the show over Barcelona's span winger Lamine Yamal yesterday. My God, I think I love that game. But then Guardiola surprisingly rested the majority of his star at the Etihad. And some people were wondering with Erling Haaland, Ruben Dias, Bernardo Silva, and of course Gianluigi Donnarumma all left out of the starting lineup as Man City went down 2-0 to Leverkusen. A first loss of the campaign for Man City, coming hot on the heels of Saturday's 2-1 defeat at Newcastle in the Premier League, leaves the 2023 winner on 10 points. And of course, he said something, and I would like to quote. He said, well, as a coach, I take full responsibility. Still, I think the players that started were exceptional players, but we miss something needed at the highest level. That's Guardiola talking right there. And he said he thinks playing every 2 or 3 days, they need to make changes, but seeing the result, maybe it's too much. The result is too much. But then I think I need to bring you some of the results across UK before we watch the highlight of the Chelsea game. First of all, I already told you that Manchester City lost in UK 2-0 to Bayern Leverkusen, while Newcastle threw away a 1-goal lead to lose 2-1 at Marseille. Then Juventus on their own edge, a 5-goal thriller against Bodo Glimt, then winning 3-2 in Norway, and of course Borussia Dortmund trash Villarreal 4-0, and those were the games that were played yesterday. I will bring you other highlights later, but then that Chelsea game, we need to watch the highlight as I get my guests to join me, then we'll get the conversation started from there. So the highlight of that game is going to be coming up next.
Sí, que más allá de su juventud